as we speak, week after week. Sanjay Jha, who's a political analyst, joining us on the phone line. Mr. Jha, here's Prime Minister Narendra Modi breaking his silence on fuel price rise in India, blaming it on the opposition ruled states, asking if centre could slash excise duty, why not you slash the VAT tax?
Well, I think obviously the Prime Minister has advisors who either lie or the BJP is back to playing its usual fake news and post-truth communication. This is a blatant lie. I think the Prime Minister is either wrongly briefed or is voluntarily misleading the nation for political reasons. Let me tell you the truth. The truth is that when the international oil prices were falling, Mr. Modi's government has actually extorted money from the average common man of India. From the poorest man to the middle class to everyone, we all pay the same taxes as much as the richest man in the country, which means that this tax actually hurts the poor and the middle class the most. And let me give you one data point. On an average, every year, the government of Mr. Modi is picking up around 3.5 lakh crores as taxes. And this is, I'm talking about the central pool. I'm not talking about the state pool. So really what he needs to explain to the country, in fact, maybe the government should apologize because they have fleeced and extorted and literally indulged in what I would call is the great oil robbery from the people of India. 26 lakh crores in the last 7-8 years. And that same money, this government takes and says, I'm giving you a cylinder, I'm giving you a little food grains, etc. I mean, basically you're robbing a man 100 rupees, you're putting 2 rupees back in his pocket and you're saying, I've done a great job. And here is the Prime Minister of India, who I think obviously is either ignorant of the statistical realities of oil prices or the party is blatantly bluffing around.
No, but is it not true, Mr. Jha, that the centre has slashed its excise duty? Why not the value-added tax be cut in several states, be it the opposition-ruled states, including the BJP-ruled states? Do you think this is now the state's responsibility to act? Even a rupee or two is huge reduction for a common man.
Well, let me tell you, what Mr. Modi is not telling the people of India is that they have increased the prices literally 20 times after the elections. Firstly, which I think is a repugnant act of political immorality, is that during the election campaign, they don't talk about prices. After the elections are over, they raise the prices like 10 or 12 times in 15 days. I mean, you cannot afford to actually have a government that is so blatantly conning and cheating its own people. This is a cunning government. Now what they're telling you is that if I increase it 15 times in a row, international prices have actually come down recently. So they will say, we cut the price down now. Why aren't the states doing it? Well, give the time for the states to also adjust their revenues. I mean, the government cannot say, I cut the price today, so why doesn't the state do it tomorrow? The larger explanation...
A delay in acting is no excuse because it's the common man suffering, Mr. Jha. So if the state governments can act on this suggestion with immediate effect, that's only going to benefit the common man. But point taken on possibly a slow decision taken by the central government on slashing down on the excise duty. But what best can be done at this point in your view? We're looking at crude oil prices skyrocketing at the moment. What best can be done by the centre?
Well, let me tell you, the thing that the centre must do at the moment is to, number one, cut down the duties because actually it will help them contain inflation. If they cut down the excise duties, it will not just kind of give more purchasing power to the middleman, to the middle class, because they will be then able to spend that money. I mean, you're seeing erosion of household income because of inflation. You're seeing rise in inflation, which I think is going to continue for a long time to come if the government doesn't understand the basics. And third, very importantly, is to link the prices to the international markets. Tomorrow, if the common man of India trusts this government, in fact, unfortunately, they have been taken for a ride, but the international prices rise, the government is justified in increasing the duties. But when it is down, then you should let the prices come down. What they have done is when the market goes down, they fleece the common man. When the market goes up, they say, well, we can't help it. You can't have a heads or win, tails you lose policy. This government needs to be transparent. So far, it has completely looted, I believe, the people of India. And about time the people wake up to the reality that the government is only indulging in a sleight of hand.
Well, Mr. Jha, keeping politics aside, it's really the common man that's facing the pinch. And we've seen a steady rise of fuel prices for the last year, particularly the last few months have been really severe and heavy on the pockets of the common man. Be it BJP-ruled states or opposition-ruled states, prices are high. Do you think that the centre must be looking at a blanket reduction of fuel prices, maybe a mandate to be given to all states, irrespective of which political party governing it?
Well, let me tell you, because the elections are over and the next election is happening only after several months, this government is going to do what it wants to do. But, you know, I believe any government, and I'm telling you this as somebody who is a student of economics, that a government which increases taxes on oil to collect money is a lazy, incompetent government. Because oil is something that you will use and I will use, because we can't do away with an LPG cylinder. We still need to fly. You still need petrol and diesel. So I believe the government should straight away make sure that in future they do not try and indulge in opaque pricing, be transparent. And if right now they were to cut down duties and keep it down and bring it lower as the markets go down, it will only help the common man of India.
Mr. Jha, thank you very much for joining us with those details.